You are watching Park TV. Welcome back to Monadnock Tonight with your host, Steve Jackson. Coming to you live from the studios of the gorgeous Park Theater in downtown Jaffrey, New Hampshire. Join Steve and his guest today, Republican New Hampshire State Representative primary candidate, Matthew Santonastaso. Now sit back, relax, and here's Steve.
Well, good afternoon, late afternoon, good evening, early evening to everyone, and greetings and welcome to Monadnock TV, Monadnock Tonight, produced by Park TV and the Park Theater. It is Thursday, September 3rd, 2020. It is about 5 p.m. here on the East Coast of America, and this is show number 46. And yes, I am Steve Jackson, CEO of the Park Theater and your host. And we are really glad that you're here today. It's going to be an interesting show. We have a candidate for the New Hampshire state seat, District 14, which includes Jaffrey, our town right here. Plus, Kim Graham is here, and she has her Go Monadnock segment as well. Just a couple of notes before we get into our interview. I wanted everyone to, hopefully you've had a chance to watch it. If you have not, I wanted you to know that our new show, Route 124 Bandstand, premiered on Tuesday on our show on Monadnock Tonight on Tuesday. But you can check it out either on the archived Monadnock Tonight show from Tuesday on Facebook or YouTube, or just we're going to be having up on a regular basis, the Route 124 show will be just by itself. And that has been uploaded to Facebook. So you don't need me introing it. You can get right into the show, and that's the way it will be every week. Hosted by Andrea Cornelius, who you see on this slide from the show. And just a reminder that starting next week, Monadnock Tonight goes to 1 time per week. And that is the same slot as today's show, which is 5 p.m. 5 p.m. As always, 5 p.m., but only on Thursdays, Monadnock Tonight. And we will have new from time to time Route 124 bandstand shows. And as you know, that is a young music show featuring and showcasing young musicians, singers, songwriters, bands, DJ, high school, college, a young music show. And Andrea is the host and the producer. So be on the lookout for that. Next week, we will be premiering a show with singer-songwriter Patrick LaCroix, who made a guest appearance on our first show with Eve Pierce. So please be ready for that. Also, wanted to remind you, as I usually do on Thursdays, that we have free movies online, and you should see them. And this week, we have just today, as we curate, finding some great, usually older films, and find them for you, give you the link to them. But if you go to theparktheater.org and you click on free movies, you'll find the whole list of them. But the one we added today, I'm going to show you. I may not go through all of it, but it is a trailer from the 1969 movie called The Prime of Miss Jean Brodie. And that stars Maggie Smith. And as if you're a fan of Downton Abbey, or if you've ever been a fan of that, you should see this film. This film, she won an Oscar for her role as Jean Brodie. And enough of me. Let's take a look at it.
All the leaves are gone green.
I am in the business
business of putting old heads on young shoulders, and all my pupils are the creme de la creme. Give me a gal at an impressionable age, and she is mine for life. I am dedicated to you in my prime.
Ah, the dangerous Miss Brodie.
She always looks so extreme.
You will have to watch Miss Brodie's stomach.
Oh, Miss Brodie, you are dangerous.
I would deem it a sincere service to the school if any indiscretion that might reach your ear should also reach mine.
There's a special kind of woman who will always cause people to talk.
Miss Brodie's really in love with Mr. Lloyd, but he's married to another. So she's working it off on Mr. Lowther.
I don't understand, Eugene. You will not marry me, and yet you feed me and share my bed.
Share your bed. Why can't you say you are my lover?
The truth, Jean, is that you bounced into bed with an artist, but you were horrified when you woke up with a man.
Well, it goes on for another minute and a half. In those days, the trailers were much longer than the trailers today. But it's the Prime of Miss Jean Brodie. It's on for free. Go to theparktheater.org or go to the Facebook. There's a post on Facebook for it that was uploaded today. And you can watch that free tonight, anytime, or over Labor Day weekend. Please do. And there, as always, there are many other films at Park Pix Flicks. All of our free films are there. And let me just hide that. And now let's get to what this show is all about today and to our main guest. As you probably know or should know, next Tuesday is our state primary. And we have been interviewing candidates vying for District 14's New Hampshire state representative seat. We had on Andrew Manivel, the Democratic candidate, Frank Sterling, the Republican primary candidate. And today we have Frank's opponent in the primary, Matthew Santonastaso. And let me get Matthew into, let's see, God willing. There is Matthew.
How you doing?
Hi, Matt. Do you go as Matt or Matthew?
Most people just call me Matt, I suppose.
Matt, your volume is kind of low. So either if you could speak up just a little bit or bring it a tad closer to you.
All right. How's this?
Yeah, it's a little, I don't know why we're getting that's, you can go back a little bit. Just speak up and hopefully we'll get, everyone will be able to hear you.
Okay.
Okay. Well, welcome, Matt. And before we get into why you are running and the issues that concern you, what we always like to do with all of our guests here is kind of know a little bit more about Matt, the man, before we get into the politics of things. And Matt lives in Ringe with his family. Can you tell us a little bit about your family?
Sure. I'm married to Maria. We met actually when I was in the Army. She was a friend. She was a friend of my friend's girlfriend, and they were living in Amsterdam at the time from Peru. So when I came back from deployment, I used my leave time to see her in Amsterdam, and then eventually we got married in Peru, and now we live in Ringe. We have 2 children. Emma, she's 6, and Charles, and he's 6 months.
And also, you were in the Army 82nd Airborne. Tell us a little bit about that part of your career.
Yeah, well, I joined the Army because I wanted to fly helicopters, but they wouldn't let me do it because I have a color deficiency. So I did the next best thing, which was to jump out of them. And when I was in, because of my color deficiency, they wouldn't let me do infantry, which is probably for the best, but they made me a medic instead, which is interesting. I actually listened to Frank, and he was actually the same job that I
know.
was.
I found that, I was looking at your bio today and I'm thinking, wait a minute, both these candidates have something in common.
Yeah. So we were both medics in the Army, but yeah, the 82nd, what they do is they're on like rotation where basically they divide the unit into thirds, and 1/3 is ready to be deployed anywhere in the world by parachute in 18 hours from the president's call. So then this thirds is 1/3 is training, 1/3 is what they call recouping. I forget the word actually, but then 1/3 is just sitting there next to their bags, ready to go.
Wow. And you also had a tour in Iraq?
Yeah, that's right. I was in Baghdad.
Well, thank you for your service to America. And now you also benefited because after you left the Army, you were able to use the GI Bill to go to get a degree.
That's right. Yep, I used the GI Bill and attended Fitchburg State University and got a degree in computer science.
And then you were working in technology, but eventually you moved to Ringe and were working with Allen and Matheson.
Yeah, I was actually a data miner, or like a data. So what I would do is I would, I'd write apps that would scrape data from the internet, and then we would use that data. We'd find ways to actually understand it so we could produce business data, which I really like doing that work. But the problem is my head was always in a database, and I wasn't able to, do anything because my brain was always so busy. And I wanted just a job where I could pursue my interests and be home and with the kids and stuff like that,
And going back to what we were talking about in the why you originally were joining the Army, yeah, I've read in your bio that you love target shooting, but you also about being a helicopter flight instructor. And if that was not enough, you built a single seat helicopter from a kit and fly it for fun. Please tell the audience all about that.
Yeah. So in aviation, if you want to do it on your own without something like the military, most pilots, especially helicopter, they get going by becoming a flight instructor first, and then they can build experience in order to get a job. So before you can fly the big helicopters that cost thousands of dollars an hour to keep in the air, they want you to have lots of experience in the little ones. So that just happens to be that to live in New Hampshire and be into aviation, especially in being into helicopters, there's just not any helicopter operations around. So I just wanted to find a way to keep flying without without having to travel too far. So I built the Mosquito kit. It's actually a Canadian helicopter that it's a single seat big 2-stroke motor. Assembled it in Florida. There's a factory down there where you can participate in the assembly. And in America, if you build an aircraft, you can register it as yourself as a manufacturer. So then you can fly it legally.
Yeah. And what airport do you fly out of here? Or can you just fly it straight from your backyard?
Yeah, my backyard's not big enough to support it, but I just live, I got too many trees. But you can keep it at your house, and a lot of people do. I keep it at the airport in Jaffrey, and it's a great airport. It's very quiet there.
Yeah.
It's a good airport for that. But yeah.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Maybe we look up in the sky and we will see you every once in a while. I didn't notice. Is there on your website? Is there a picture of you in the helicopter?
That's right. That's the Mosquito. That's on the website there. I think it's on the CV page. I'm not sure certain right now.
Yeah, no, that's all right. But one thing which I have not put up. What is your website? Website address?
Mm-hmm. CheshireLiberty.com.
CheshireLiberty.com.
That's right.
All right. Let me. I want to put that up for people. Make sure I've got it spelled right. Just typing and talking at the same time. So is that right?
I don't see anything. I just.
Oh, you're not seeing anything up there? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, CheshireLiberty.com.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll leave that up for a little bit while we're talking. Now, let's get to the race. The interesting thing is, even though now Andrew on the Democratic side, I don't think he's run for he's been involved with local town management, but I don't think he's ever run in an election type. I'm not positive on that. Frank certainly has run a lot of campaigns, election campaigns. Is this the first time that you have ever run for an elected office?
Yeah, that's correct. I've never done anything like this before.
And what motivated you? What made you want to take a crack at it at this point?
Well, I've been learning about liberty for a while, just kind of on my own, and being here in New Hampshire, I moved here because the liberty here is really like on par with what I believe is the correct, good governance and stuff like that from Massachusetts. And then eventually people in the House were asking me to run as a state rep. And, I told them, I don't know anything about running for office or doing this. They said, you know what, you're going to be great. So, and we just really want you up here. So, if I can contribute, I'll do it. With any little thing I can do.
And what are the issues, Matt, that you see, that again kind of have pushed you to say, I want to take a shot at this and I want to have an effect upon legislation within the state? What are the top issues that you've got that you're concerned about?
Well, in general, I think New Hampshire's a really great state, and we don't need to copy, the rest of the country. This past legislature, they've tried passing some laws that they actually did pass a lot of laws that would have been big changes for New Hampshire, as far as adding an income tax, adding a sales tax, changing, gun restrictions as far as 10-round magazines and things like that aren't compatible, with the beliefs of the people in New Hampshire. The only reason why we're not living under these new rules is because Governor Sununu just in vetoing everything. So, I mean, what I really want to do is keep New Hampshire the way it's been, and not change too much. And if we are going to change something, we should, it should be a lot of, thinking about it before we actually do it. There's someone that said something once, something like, society. If you think about a military helicopter, think about how complicated that thing is, right? Well, you're not just going to go to that thing and just start changing parts on it, willy nilly. You want to, you really got to know what's going on. And then same thing with society and the rules we live under. We don't want to just start changing things real quick. We want to make sure, we're taking our time and really considering it, because the way things are now, it wasn't just an accident. America, was founded, from people fighting for liberty, with guns. And that's how it's ended up, so you change it and, it could go back into something bad.
Yeah. And, well, and I think you're right. Absolutely. On, you can't make changes without really investigating the ramifications and all the information about what those changes are going to do. Let me switch a little bit to your campaign itself. And since if you've never done one of these before, how has that been with just running a campaign that doing all the things that you've got to go out and talk to people? I don't know if there are lawn signs, I guess bumper stickers, you can do all that type of stuff as well. There are websites like you have. How's that experience been in terms of just trying to develop a campaign? And have you done it by your bootstraps, or have you been able to have some people give you some assistance, or how's that working?
Yeah, it was kind of an experience. at first it was real quiet. I actually started working on this around, I think October. So I coded the website myself, and I designed my palm cards and things like that on my own. As it was getting closer to the primary, I got a lot of survey requests. All candidates get all these surveys, and I filled them out. And then a couple of organizations said that they wanted to help me out. So I had people, other organizations, on my behalf, send mailers out and send people out to door knock and to help, help me win the primary here. And I've done a lot of door knocking myself, and it's kind of, it's an interesting experience. I mean, I get to talk to the people, and they tell me what they think, so I learn a lot about the district and learn a lot about just how things were and what people are thinking about. It's funny. I think a lot of candidates are hesitant to door knock because, it's kind of weird. You're just going up to someone's house and knocking on the door, and then you got to tell them, hey, I'm running for state rep.
Yeah, it does take a little.
I know you're eating dinner right now.
Yeah, it takes a little courage to do a cold call, knock on a door for anything, let alone for if you're running for politics.
Yeah, and it's funny. I deliver fuel for Allen and Matheson, as you mentioned before, and because of that, I'm used to walking up to just strangers' houses, I suppose. I don't know if it helped.
That would help. That would help, no question about it. Now, since we're really coming down the wire here, what's on your agenda between tomorrow, and Tuesday?
There's a couple of things I have to do. It's actually, I'm going to have a lot of work to do, but I don't want to get into it, if that's all right, just because I don't know what other people are doing.
Okay. No problem. No problem. Well, I think we, again, we should, for people to find out more about you and about your point of view on politics, government, governance, to go to your website, which we have up on the screen right now, CheshireLiberty.com, and find out more about Matthew Santonastaso. Now, I've had a hard time pronouncing your last name, but is it Santonastaso?
Yeah, you're saying it correct. It's basically exactly how it's written.
Santonastaso.
Yeah, you're saying it is better than I can.
Well, I have to say that's if you heard me about 3 shows ago when we knew you were going to be coming on eventually, just before the primary, I don't think you'd want me to replay that to you. But I've done my homework, and we're getting better. So now I think I'm feeling pretty good about it. Thank you so much, Matt, for being on Monadnock Tonight, letting people get to know you a little bit more, and to get to know about why you're in this race, what's important to you. And we wish you good luck on the way up to Tuesday.
I really appreciate you letting me come on the show tonight.
All right. All the best to you, your family, and your campaign.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Well, we that kind of lines up all of our candidates that we've had on. We've had again Andrew Manival, the Democrat, and no one. He is the only Democrat running in this district. And then we have Frank Sterling, and now we have Matthew today. Republicans will be Frank and Matthew will be taking it to the polls on Tuesday, and we'll see who emerges as who's going to be running against Andrew Manival, and we take it from there. And hopefully we'll be talking to the candidates, the winner of the primary and the Democratic candidate before we get to November. So we'll have a chance to talk to them again as we lead up to the election for this particular position of District 14, New Hampshire State Representative. And it is Thursday. So what does that mean? That means it's Go Monadnock Day, and our producer, Kim Graham. And let's bring Kim on. 3, 2, 1. Hello, Kim.
Hello. Technology is great when it works. Lets me know.
Not everyone knew what was going on up until the last 39 seconds of the broadcast today. We were having what we normally have, and Matt was coming through a cell phone, and we thought we were going to have to put this show off and reschedule, even though it can't reschedule too easily with Matt because the election is Tuesday.
Right.
But luckily, Matt was able to find another cell phone, and he had a good connection, and we hope everybody enjoyed that. But yes, we know these things all too well.
I know.
But let's switch to Go Monadnock, and I always like to remind people that you should go to gomonadnock.com and sign up to be on Kim's email list, because then you get, on a weekly basis on Thursdays, you get what she's going to be talking about, and maybe even before she's talking about it.
Yep.
Usually, I think that usually comes out before our show. So sign up, and you can also go to Facebook and join and like Go Monadnock over there. So you can do a search on that. And now I turn it over to Kim. Kim, what do we got going on?
Well, it is Labor Day weekend. It kind of doesn't feel like Labor Day weekend without a whole bunch of activities happening, and hopefully people will still be able to get together with family and friends at, socially distanced functions. But, this weekend we're used to having a whole bunch of stuff happen in Francistown, and it's unfortunate that it's not happening this weekend. But there's still some other things that you can do. So I'm going to open up my list here. There is a new exhibit that's opening up at the gallery at Depot Square. There's six New Hampshire artists that are taking part in that. So there's a whole list of who's going to be there and their art on our website. Then Friday night, school is back in session. There is a link to the football game, the Conval football game, on Friday night. And that's a new thing. I don't think that they've done that before, which is kind of interesting. So it will be, we'll see how that works out. I'm not sure. Conant has got to have a football team, right? I would think. But I couldn't find anything about sports at Conant. But anyway, Friday night football. Then the Peterborough Unitarian Universalistic Church is going to have flea markets on Saturdays through September and October. So that will be a great time to shop for some good discounted items. And also they have space available if you want to be a vendor as well. Then driving through Greenfield, I noticed a little lawn sign outside of the garage that's there right across from Harvester Market. And it's a blacksmith shop, and they're going to have a blacksmithing demonstration on Monday. So that's kind of cool. One of the ways that we used to get our information here in our area is either you'd head down to get a coffee and you'd hear what the news was happening, what was happening through people, or posters on bulletin boards. And there's not so much of that happening anymore. And that was one of the reasons why I started Go Monadnock, to try and open those lines of communication for people who weren't going to get coffee, or who were not able to see the posters, at the general store or at the post office. But it's always cool to see those little signs of things that are happening. And then, so the fifth event is that, again, there's live music just next door to the Park Theater at Sunflowers on Friday nights and Sundays for brunch. So there's other events and activities on our website. And also starting this week, we've got 3 new blog posts. So I've got 2 stories on there, A Day in the Life. And one is a day in the life of a local school teacher, and the other is a day in the life of sorry, I just lost my train of thought. A day in the life of an activities director at Summerhill Assisted Living. And then we've got a recipe coming tomorrow. So slowly starting to expand the content on the website. And that's it.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I am intrigued about the blacksmith.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't even know it was, I didn't know it was a blacksmith shop. I thought it was just a garage.
Yeah. Well, I guess blacksmiths, maybe they work with farriers and horses for horseshoes still. So, I mean, I don't know, but I was intrigued by that.
Yeah.
That they have a demonstration. But for some reason that sounds familiar, that out in that area, that I think at some event that my wife and I were at many years ago, there was a blacksmith there.
Maybe.
And you never know, but only in New Hampshire will you still have a blacksmith, I guess.
There's a big blacksmith shop in Milford I saw online.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, they've got a big website. So it's a dying art, but
it is, but hopefully regionally it holds on, and and we still have them. Well,
so that's it.
That is very good. This is a holiday weekend. We hope folks are going to be able to take advantage of that. Our fans and supporters out there, enjoy yourself and have a fun weekend coming up. And I thank you, Kim.
No problem.
For helping us navigate our technical problems today as well.
No problem.
We got through them.
We did.
And again, be on the lookout as I promote our new show, Route 124, to it's again, on Facebook now you can go and see it without having to have it enveloped around our show here, which it was a couple of days ago. But it's on its own, as it will normally be, and we will just announce when there are new ones being posted, and they'll always be posted, even though it was going to be posted on YouTube, but it was going to be happening. It's a large file, and we were going to have the show, and you can't do those two things simultaneously without having a little bit of a problem. So it will be on YouTube very soon or tomorrow morning, but you can watch it on Facebook. It's one of the most recent posts that we have up there. And that is about it. Kim, again, thank you.
No problem.
And we will see you next Thursday as our new one time a week schedule with Monadnock Tonight. And have a lovely weekend yourself.
Thank you. Thank you. You too.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. Well, that is it. We wrapped another one. Good old number 46 of our shows. And again, we always want to remind folks that you can sponsor, you can underwrite us with a tax-deductible donation to assist in the production and support of this show and the Park Theater. And so we have programs that are underwriting programs for businesses, organizations, and individuals. So you can call us at the theater, 532-9300, or email us at parktv@theparktheater.org. And if you also have questions or ideas for guests, musical or otherwise, please use those 2 contact points to let us know. And let's see, what do we have next? Well, of course, when we come to the end of the show, we like to remind people, and especially on a holiday weekend like Labor Day, which is a fun time. It's obviously a little different than your average Labor Day, as was July 4th, Memorial Day. But please be safe out there and continue to be healthy. And always be kind to everyone. and be hopeful, because we can do this. I'm Steve Jackson, and thank you so much for being part of Monadnock Tonight. And we'll see you next week.